Okay, hi everyone. Just today we're going to go in and check the sulfites in this flex tank along with the pH, and we'll check the TA as well. So I'll show you how I'm going to do all that stuff in a second. I have a homemade SO2 kit that I put together and tried it out, and it seems to work pretty well. So we'll see how it works out. Okay, need to do the SO2 test. I'm going to start out by mixing up my hydrogen peroxide, 10 milliliters. Use the syringe that has the green tape on it. So again, we want 10 millimeters of this. Way too much air in there. Much better. Bring it down to 10. Ten millimeters this. We're going to take the SO2 indicator. Looks like I got this from Cellular Science. And we're just going to put a drop or two in just to get it to turn that magenta color. There's one. There's two. And three. Okay, so we've got a nice magenta color. So now I want to take the sodium hydroxide 0.01N. I want to put some drops in there until it turns a nice green. Not important how many drops, so we're not doing any measurement here. We're just getting it to the color. What is important is you remember the shade of green that you bring this to. My arm's probably in the way. Still, it's going. It's not, it's like a micro dropper. I don't know where I got this from. Okay, so we've actually got it. It turned green. I didn't have to add any more. Now I just want to remember this shade of green. It's a very light shade of green. I'm going to go ahead and top that off. Now I want to add to the larger beaker. I want to add 20 millimeters of my wine that I'm going to test. So that's right here. Really hard to see this. There we go. It's 20 milliliters of wine. Trying to drip it in. I don't want to blow off the sulfites as I do this. And then I want to take some phosphoric acid, and I want to put 10 millimeters in here. Now this is going to blow off all these sulfites, so I want to do this one kind of quickly. Get that down to 10 milliliters, and we'll go ahead and let's put that on very quickly. Let's plug our pump in. Start bubbling away. Alexa, set timer for 10 minutes. And I'm telling you, I'm just not having any luck with my wines having any sulfites in them. Okay, so this is the fifth carboy that I tested for sulfites, and as you can see, this is still the same color green we started out with. So I don't have any sulfites in any of my wines, but what I wanted to show you is if I did have some sulfites in my wine. Now this is just going to put a couple of sprinkles in here. Just want to show you what would happen. You can see instantly it's turning it to purple, that magenta color. So that's a very light magenta color, so I would guess I'd have to add quite a bit of sodium hydroxide in there to measure to see how much I just added to that. But that's what you see when you have sulfites in your wines. Like I said, this is my 5th carboy that I tested. My gosh, I mean, what an eye opener! I'm sitting here with all this wine, and it's a pretty it's a substantial size investment when you take into consideration a 50-gallon flex tank and you know, I don't know, maybe 15 carboys all filled with wines from a year, 2 years old, and they're sitting down here without any sulfites in it. So yeah, I just huge lesson learned by me. So I'll make sure I do it. I'm sorry I couldn't really. I didn't have any wine. I can show you that how this kit worked. Put the whole kit together for about $15. You know, these are these Eliezer beakers. The glass tubes were. I had to get them off Amazon. I had to order. I don't know. Gosh, it must have been 30 of them. You know, couple feet long. I just used a utility knife, scored it, and then broke it for the size that I did. Drilled some holes, 2 holes in each one of these corks, and slid the glass tube through both of them. This is a much shorter tube. That's a longer one to get to the bottom. You want to make sure that there's activity going on. So if you guys are interested and you want to know how I built this, I can build another one or demonstrate how I built this one. So thanks again for your time. By the way, hats off to anyone who does YouTubes. This is my first YouTube, and I have to say that this is very, very difficult. Yeah, I don't know you guys that do it with these professional touches and with all of your knowledge. It's just I can't thank you guys enough. Thanks very much. Bye.